Hi everyone, welcome back to another AP Florist video. So if you're thinking about taking AP Business next year, there are a few things you should know before you even sign up. Because if you're anything like most students, you probably have at least one major misconception about what the course actually is. And honestly, that's not your fault. AP Business is still a very new course, and a lot of students are making assumptions solely on the name. So before you add it to your schedule, let's talk about what AP Business really is, and whether it's the right course for you. One of the biggest reasons I wanted to make this video is because I've seen a lot of confusion surrounding AP Business. When students hear the word business, they immediately think of things like starting a company, becoming an entrepreneur, or maybe even learning how to make money. And it is true that these ideas are connected to the course, but they don't tell the full story. In reality, AP Business is much broader than people expect, and understanding that difference can completely change your expectations going into the class. Now, let's start with probably the most common misconception. Many students assume AP Business is basically a guide on how to start your own company. And while entrepreneurship is certainly part of the course, AP Business isn't just about creating a company from scratch. Instead, the course focuses on understanding how organizations make decisions, solve problems, and operate successfully over time. In other words, it's less about becoming the next CEO of tomorrow and more about learning how businesses actually work and operate. Another thing I've heard quite a bit is that AP Business must be an easy AP class. And I can understand why people think that. Compared to courses like AP Chem or AP Physics, business sounds a lot less intimidating. But whether AP Business feels easy or difficult really depends on the type of student that you are. If you're someone who likes applying ideas, analyzing situations, and thinking through decisions, you'll probably feel pretty comfortable. But if you're expecting a more content memorization and repetitions based course, AP Business might be more challenging than you expect. Another misconception is that AP Business is going to be nothing but presentations, group projects, and Shark Tank style activities. Now don't get me wrong, there may be creative assignments depending on your teacher, but AP Business is still an AP course. That means you'll be expected to analyze information, evaluate options, justify decisions, and apply concepts to real world situations, just like any other AP course. The creativity is important, but it's only one piece of a much larger picture for AP Business. So, if this course isn't just entrepreneurship, isn't just an easy AP, and isn't just creative projects, what exactly is it? At its core, AP Business is a course about decision making. Every business, whether it's a local coffee shop or a multinational corporation, faces choices every day. What products should we sell? How much should we charge? Who are our customers? And how should we market ourselves? Throughout the course, you'll learn frameworks and concepts that help answer those kinds of questions. At this point, you might be wondering what you will actually learn in AP Business. The course covers several major areas, including entrepreneurship, marketing, finance, and operations. While those topics may sound very different from one another, they're connected by a common goal: helping organizations make effective decisions. Rather than teaching each topic in isolation, AP Business shows how they interact with one another and influences the success of a business as a whole. Any questions about the course can be found in my AP Business breakdown video, where I describe all aspects of AP Business and its units. So, why do students need to learn about all these different business functions? The reason is that businesses rarely make decisions that affect only one area. For example, a new marketing campaign might increase sales, but it could also increase costs. Hiring more employees might improve customer service, but it could also affect the company's finances. AP Business helps students understand how different parts of an organization work together and why successful decisions often require balancing multiple priorities. The final major area I want to highlight is operations. Operations focuses on what happens behind the scenes to keep a business running efficiently. Think about a restaurant during a busy lunch rush. Food needs to be prepared, employees need to coordinate their work, and customers need to be served quickly. None of that happens by accident. Operations is all about designing systems and processes that help organizations achieve their goals effectively. Think about the kitchen making the food, delivering it to the staff, who then give it to the customer, who leaves a review. Now, even though AP Business covers many different topics, they all come back to one central idea: decision making. Every day, businesses face choices that can affect their future success. Should they lower prices or maintain higher profits? Should they invest in advertising or focus on improving their products? Throughout the course, you'll learn how businesses evaluate options, weigh trade-offs, and make informed decisions based on the information available to them. Moving on, let's talk about what you'll actually be doing in the course. A lot of AP classes focus heavily on memorization, but AP Business is designed to be much more applied. Instead of simply learning definitions, you'll often be asked to use these concepts in realistic business situations. You might analyze a company's strategy, evaluate a business decision, or explain how an organization should respond to a challenge. The emphasis is usually on applying what you know, rather than repeating information you memorized off the top of your head. Now, what will be the biggest challenge for most students? If there's one thing that surprises students about AP Business is this: There isn't always one perfect answer. In many situations, multiple solutions can make sense. The challenge is being able to explain why your choice is the best option. That's very different from a class where answers are either right or wrong. Success in AP Business often comes from strong reasoning and clear explanations rather than recalling facts. It's kind of like being at a crossroads where both answers are right, but you're unsure of yourself. Now, moving on, one of the most valuable things AP Business can teach you is how to think like a decision maker. Managers and business leaders rarely have complete information. Instead, they evaluate risks, consider alternatives, and make the best decision possible with what they have available. As you work through your business scenarios in the course, you'll begin developing that same mindset, and honestly, that's a skill that can be useful far beyond business itself, helping you with that same crossroads dilemma from earlier. One reason many students might enjoy AP Business is that the course feels practical and connected to the real world. The concepts you learn aren't limited to a classroom setting. They reflect situations that organizations face every day, whether it's analyzing a marketing strategy, or evaluating a financial purchase, or considering different business goals. You'll often be working with examples that resemble real challenges, and this focus helps many students see the relevance of what they're actually learning. AP Business is often a great fit for students who enjoy solving problems and thinking through different possibilities. If you like understanding how organizations operate in real-world situations, all the while discussing different solutions to a challenge, you'll definitely find this course engaging. It's also a strong option for students who prefer applying concepts instead of memorization. Curiosity, critical thinking, and willingness to evaluate decisions are all traits that can help you succeed in this course. Overall, if you enjoy solving problems instead of memorizing facts, this course is for you. At the same time, AP Business may not be the perfect fit for everyone. If you strongly prefer classes with one clear, right answer, you may find some business scenarios challenging. In many situations, there are multiple reasonable solutions, and your job is to determine which option is best and explain why. Students who dislike open-ended questions and prefer straightforward questions may need some time to adjust to the way business concepts are applied. So if you prefer repetition and clear right answers, this course might not be the best fit for you. Okay, let me be honest. If there's one takeaway I hope you remember from this video, it's this. Don't choose AP Business just because it says AP Business. Many students assume the course is only about entrepreneurship, making money, or starting a company. While those ideas are certainly included, the course is much broader than that. AP Business is really about understanding organizations, analyzing situations, and making informed decisions. Students who recognize that from the beginning often have a much better experience with the course. At the end of the day, AP Business isn't a course about memorizing business terms or learning how to become a CEO overnight. It's a course about understanding how organizations make decisions and why those decisions matter. If that sounds interesting to you, then AP Business could be a great fit. If nothing else, I hope this video helped you make a more informed decision, because the best students aren't always the ones who take the most AP classes. They're the ones who choose the courses that genuinely match their interests and their strengths. Hopefully, this video gave you a clearer picture of what AP Business is actually about. It's not just entrepreneurship and not just projects. It's definitely more than the name I suggest. At its core, it's about understanding organizations and decision making. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe because I'll be covering AP Business throughout the year, including course content and tips for success. If you still happen to have any questions, my AP Business breakdown video could be the solution to your concerns. Thank you so much for watching AP Florist, and I'll see you in the next video.